I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
2 out. And he drives it to deep right. Back goes Murphy, way back, and there it is, the first grand slam in All-Star history.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
Oh, yeah. Let's get this thing going. Good morning. Oh. Don't have my glasses. Hold on. As I said, good morning and welcome to the wacky Wednesday edition of Snowman in the Morning, making adjustments as we go. Glad to have y'all with us. Cole Johnson will be along here in just a few moments. Not one, but two bronze sexual confessions today. One from Cole at 8:35, and then yours truly will join the fun during the 9 o'clock hour. Pragmatic Prime in the house with us, and the chat is going to be lit up today because I have something fun to talk about before we get to the whip around. I'm waiting for Cole to sign in. Pragmatic Prime in the house with us. Greetings, Snowman. Greetings to you. Sick Diggy joining us from Scandinavia. Good morning to you. And, of course, one of my homies, the Rod Uncensored Podcast, Rod Isaac, joining the festivities this morning. Here's the fun thing I'm going to tell you guys. Rod and I are going to have a debate Monday. He defends LeBron. I defend MJ. And I asked Rod to cut a promo last night, a video promo. So he sent me his promo via Facebook, which I now have. And somehow he recorded that promo without laughing, and it was an excellent promo. I'm going to put it into a full 60-second promo when I record my piece today. But I asked him last night. I said, "How the hell did you record that promo without laughing?" And he cracked up. He cracked up. So Rod and I are going to have some fun, and I knew Rod would be a great addition to the show. You can hear him Monday mornings. I knew he'd be a great addition when he came out and told me, and I have to find that clip. I have it somewhere. He said, "Snowman, I must admit something to you." All right, lay it on me. He says, "I am a bronsexual." I went, "Oh no." But then my brain started turning and said, okay, we can really have fun with this and market it as much as Cole and I do bronsexual confessions. Mainly on Wednesdays, but man, I'm gonna have so much fun with Rod. Rod and I are gonna have a ball with this debate. So when we do this Monday morning at 10:35, and I'm probably gonna back it up to 10:30 so we can get a full half hour. Be prepared to have fun. Be prepared for the real hardcore bronsexuals to be triggered. Be prepared for the rest of y'all to laugh because Rod and I are going to have some fun. Now, Cole Johnson in the house with me. Good morning, my friend.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
We're going to have some fun on Monday. At the bottom of hour 3, Rod and I are going to have our LeBron versus Jordan debate. And when I get a chance today to send you the promo that Rod cut, you're going to think of the same question I did, which was, how the hell did he cut this without laughing?
Oh Lord.
It's going to be fun. Now, the opening that you saw, courtesy of NBC Sports with Vince Scully and Joe Garagiola, and forever in answer to a trivia question. And the trivia question that I posed on Monday was, who is the only player to date to hit an all-star slam? That, of course, Fred Lynn, 1983 at Old Comiskey Park. And for those of you Southsiders, you remember Old Comiskey Park, the yellow banisters and everything. And to this day, being a longtime White Sox fan, I hate the name Al Bunbury. Actually, two, Al Bunbury and Tito Landrum, because those are the two guys that put us out in Game 4 of the American League Championship Series. 6 minutes after the hour, I believe we have some business to take care of. Speaking of All-Star festivities.
Mm-hmm. And that is where we will start, as the American League, for the 9th consecutive year, claims the All-Star game as they beat the National League 3-2. Well, it didn't go into a home run derby.
Thank God. They decided it in 9 innings.
Yes, it was decided 9 innings. But Giancarlo Stanton wins the MVP of the game, which, well, just, his
457 feet worth of MVP.
Yeah, I was about to say his mammoth shot basically spelled the difference with him and Byron Buxton going back to back in the fourth. So, is it safe for me to say that, yeah, it was cool to see the game, but the best thing that I liked in the whole festivities was when Denzel Washington dressed up in the Brooklyn Dodgers Jackie Robinson uniform and got up on home plate and spoke some words?
The whole time they honored Jackie Robinson. Mrs. Robinson is now an even 100. And she showed honor. That's absolutely awesome. Let's see. Joe Davis, who was the television voice last night, got the thrill of a lifetime to not only be the main voice of Major League Baseball on Fox, not only to call his first All-Star game, but the Spectrum Sportsnet voice of the Dodgers did the television call from a place he's very familiar with, Chavez Ravine, who hosted the All-Star game. Last night. And let me say congratulations to Joe Davis. Fabulous voice. Love listening to him. And I believe he also does college football. I believe he's one of the voices of college football on Fox. But congrats to the American League and Giancarlo Stanton, who basically left the yard, literally. With that, has it come down yet?
Yeah, I don't know if it's come down yet. Look,
okay.
I will say this. I've always said that Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City is my favorite ballpark ever. Twilight at Chavez Ravine,
not too bad.
It's very difficult to top that.
I think next year they will top it because the All-Star game is in Seattle. Yeah. So Seattle gets a second All-Star game. Of course, you remember 2001, Cal Ripken's All-Star Swan Song, as we welcome D. Scott into the chat. You got some more stuff, don't you?
Yes, I do. And I think this one will warm your heart. NASCAR next year is going to take to the streets, and to a city that is unfamiliar to NASCAR, they are taking their show to Chicago. Downtown
Chicago. State Street, Madison Street, get ready. State Street, Madison, Michigan Avenue. I saw a rendition of the course.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to study it. But all I gotta say is imagine them holding that race around Taste of Chicago. I don't think that's the date they're going to do it, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. There's gonna be a lot of people.
It's gonna
be a lot of people.
You remind me that I should go to Chicago one year during Chicago time.
You have to.
Because I've heard, not even you, I've heard many people who not even are Chicagoans, but people who actually visited the city and have spent time there. They said, yeah, Taste Chicago, that's when you should go. I'm like, wow, okay.
Okay, Rod's having fun with us in the chat. Only one MJ that matters. His last name is Jackson. He does matter, but so does Jordan. As a matter of fact, Rod, I'll take my shot and say at least the king fashioned the number 23. Now, I got to remember to hold all this stuff. The Queen and King podcast joins us this morning as well, and we got more stuff. Let's hit it.
That's right. That's right. Don't worry. You get your chance later today. But back to the MLB, the commissioner of the sport, Rob Manfred, is adamant in saying that the MLB has made real strides in the past few years in paying minor leaguers a living wage.
Damn!
And
Right.
And
Euphoria.
Move on.
Well, before we do, when asked whether owners can't afford to pay minor leaguers more or simply choose not to, Mr. Manfred decided to put his foot in his mouth. He decided to speak and said, quote, I kind of reject the premise of that question that minor leaguers are not being paid a living wage. We've made real strides in the last few years in terms of what minor league players are paid, even putting to one side the signing bonuses that many of them have already received. They receive housing, which obviously is another form of compensation. I just reject the premise of the question. I don't know what else to say about it. Close quote.
What? 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 What?
Bitch, please.
There you go.
Mr. Manfred, the American Association of Baseball. That's all I have to tell you. And this is from someone who's covered the Gary South Shore Railcats and the American Association for the better part of 6 years. Hey, I got to step away for a moment, but I will do this. Hey, Bishop, are minor leaguers being paid a livable wage?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Listen.
Moving on. No problem. So the NBA draft prospect Sissoko, I'm sorry. He signs with the G League. So the number 25 prospect, according to the mock draft in ESPN, told the four-letter network that he planned to sign with the Ignite program. Went on to say the following. Quote, we explored several options with my agents, and I was convinced G League Ignite was the best opportunity to achieve my goals. The ability of this program is to maximize the potential of its players on and off the court, and that convinced me. Even more, the tailor-made development program and opportunity to start my transition to the U.S. game style, three-point line and off-court lifestyle is a key asset. I felt during our conversations with the staff that I was a priority. Close quote. Now, the 18-year-old who is from Europe, he decides to follow in the footsteps of Dyson Daniels, who was from Australia, and he decided to take the similar path when he tried to boost his draft stock and did so and was drafted number 8 overall by the Pelicans. I really have to say this and stress this. The game would be much better and would be better served for everybody who participates if they were to have some type of preparation before they become a pro. The wonderful aspect.
Okay, I'm back. What I miss?
Oh, no, I'm just saying the wonderful aspect about preparation to the pros is that when they get to the league, and I know, modern NBA fan, you've heard this phrase because you normally say this a lot. You see, they, when they get to the NBA, will stay ready because they don't have to get ready. But for half the rosters in the NBA, many of them have to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
Good move by this young man. I applaud this move.
Same.
Back to Manfred.
No.
The commissioner discusses a possible location for the A's and the Rays.
Okay. Okay. First of all, whoever elected Rob No Balls Manfred as commissioner, I won't even complete that phrase. Mr.
Well,
Manfred, I got a question.
English, do you speak it?
well, he said that the A's, Mr. Commish,
Oh,
he said
God.
that the A's will need to quickly reach a binding agreement for a new ballpark, and that relocation could be considered if a deal is struck for a facility in the Bay Area. Mind you, that contract expires after the 2024 season. Now, I'll explain that situation in a moment. Meanwhile, going to the other coast, the Rays situation.
Blow up the
Manfred
Rays and blow up Tropicana Field. I'm sorry. What's the song you reference often? What have you done for me lately? 100 wins and they get bounced by the Red Sox. You don't sell out Tropicana Field, whatever the blank that is.
You don't even sell in the playoffs. Sell out in the playoffs.
It doesn't even sell out in the play. When Fox, who has owned the rights to the MLB playoffs since 1996, can do everything in their power to not show empty seats at the Trop, and you still see them anyway, problem. I'm sorry, Randy Arozarena. I'm sorry to all the folks who have donned the Rays jerseys, and I especially apologize to their current fabulous television voice in Dwayne Stats and the radio guy who welcomed us to Tampa on March 31st, 1998, a voice you're familiar with, Cole, Mr. Paul Olden. And they say black people don't call baseball games. I'll give you two black voices right now, Paul Olden and Robert Ford. And we've had them both on this program. Oh, I'm sorry. I took it off the rail. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. No, so he says the Rays situation, he would much rather the team play in Tampa instead of St. Petersburg, where they are currently, but sight alone won't determine where the Rays will be.
You know something? Move them to Tampa, and you can move them across from Raymond James. I bet you get a crowd then.
Of course. They would much rather attend a stadium there.
I mean, if the USF Bulls, who rent space at Raymond James Stadium, can sell out for their home games, why can't you put a retractable roof dome stadium in Tampa? St. Petersburg ain't it?
No.
I'm having diarrhea of the mouth issues, but when this came up, you should have. Rays fans will agree with me when I say this. You should have put him in Tampa in the first place. Move on.
Now, as for Oakland, now we know that they've had issues stadium wise.
Have you seen that joint?
The Raiders moved out of Oakland into Las Vegas. The Warriors moved from Oracle, which was near that stadium, to San Francisco. And now it's the A's turn to basically say goodbye and forget you, Oakland, because Alameda County is dragging their feet in refurbishing the stadium to, how can I say this, professional football or baseball or basketball standards.
That's why Oracle got blown up. That's why the Raiders left. That's why the Athletics are going to leave. And I'm gonna miss the Athletics being in Oakland. It just seemed right.
It is,
you know, and all the legends that played for the Oakland Athletics. Hey, Alameda County, quit dragging your feet.
Yeah. And because of it, you lost a team that is supposed to be synonymous with your city. But I digress too.
You know what? Alameda County, because you've dragged your feet 3 separate times, you're going to lose 3 separate teams.
Ouch. And then we go to college football.
Oh, dear.
Georgia head coach Kirby Smart is worried about the institution of college football because of players getting too much money. Yeah, because they are entitled to the NIL, and it's going to diminish the power that the head coach has.
Okay.
Now, for those who are unfamiliar with the acronym NIL, is name, image, and likeness.
Yeah. I have one question that will put this to bed, and that will make my partner smile at the same time. Does the term reparations mean anything to you?
You know, I think many are feeling the understanding that it's almost an insult that you would be considered an adult, and you're looking at somebody who is getting, and especially in programs that Mr. Smart is coaching in currently, where he would receive upwards of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you're in the Dabo Swinney and the Nick Saban camp, 10, 11, 12 million dollars a year. And you sell these children who are, you sell these young men who are between the ages of 18 and 21. It's all for the name on the front of the jersey and not on the back. The message eventually rings hollow, especially if you're playing football and you're looking across and you're seeing some in baseball, although it's a little more rare there than in basketball. But still, you see more in you see some in baseball who they become major leaguers before they can be 21. You see NBA players, they can become professional before 21. They're making millions, or they have the possibility of making millions a year. Meanwhile, being a college football student, because you have to be, because the NFL, I do say this is smart though, the NFL says, okay, you need to play 3 years of college before you even think about hollering at the NFL and throwing your resume on our desk. They have to look at that and say, how in the world are we going to manage 3 years? You know why you had that funk with the Fab Five, and why Chris Rubber has been smelling that stench for almost all of his 30 years since? It's because of that. It's because of that. If he were to have this, he wouldn't be considered, I guess you could say, running afoul of the college law, of the NCAA law.
I'll throw one other name out there. Ed O'Bannon. Ed O'Bannon started this.
He finessed.
They dropped the load on him, but brother Ed stayed persistent. And now Ed O'Bannon, you and Charles and a lot of students and former students are going to see your persistence pay off. Chris Dietz with this comment. Notice the two coaches speaking out about the NIL. Saban and Smart, the two teams that dominate the recruiting process. Now the pay to play has evened the playing field.
And they don't like it. You're right about that, brother. They don't like it.
They don't like it. And I'm going to throw a wild card out there. You know a school that's going to really benefit from the NIL and not say a word because no one expects anything of them? My Northwestern Wildcats. Anybody remember the name Kane Coulter? He raised a stink about it, and the NCAA shut him and a few other athletes down. That is about to change. Because no one expects anything from a team and a school like the Northwestern Wildcats.
Well, you're dealing with an institution there that is considered academic. So an academic school always will get clowned And when I mean clowned, I mean basically disregarded as a power at all.
Yep.
Athletically.
Yep. We got any more notes?
No, I believe that concludes today's Whip Around.
And proud I am to say, Whip Around this morning is brought to you by Fanatics, where sports fans shop. Go to officialsitmorn.com/fanatics. Click the logo, and I'm putting that up today, and start shopping. You'll help support the show, and you'll help support Fanatics. Fanatics, where sports fans shop. And since it is Wednesday, and since it is a day before my 50th, we're going to pause, and we're going to do what we usually do on a Wednesday. And I'm going to let Cole go first. I'm saving mine.
You want to go do this now?
Uh-huh.
Oh, all right. Well, you asked for it. Well, not my partner. You brunchsexuals asked for it.
Bring it.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
The folks at the BS3 Network, you're going to have to excuse me for what I'm about to say.
And all I got to say is one word. Cook.
Because I am not going to be kind.
Don't.
So we saw this past weekend.
Oh, no.
The darling of the NBA and the apple of your eye, Bronzexual. We saw him enjoy the fruits of the coverage. He covets having the camera in his face, just like you cover having his happy juice on yours. He, in the Drew League, decided to bring DeMar DeRozan with him, and he dropped 42 points and grabbed 16 boards. Oh, and I think he had 3 block shots. And everybody everywhere was talking about this game as if it was a regular season tilt or a playoff game that took place in May. I'm just going to go straight to this because this is so ridiculous that I'm actually verbalizing this crap, and it's July. I don't understand the rationale. I don't. 42 and 16 in the Drew League, and then he decides to score 40 on a guy who scored 20 on him, and he's not an NBA player in the next game. And you all hype this up and drool down your cheek as if you are about to get some from him. I asked this question when it was brought forth Monday. I said, did this game take place between the months of October and June?
No.
No? Then why in the world are we speaking about it? I mean, I'll put it this way. This is the best way that I could phrase what LeBron James did in the Drew League.
Seems pretty accurate to me.
Thank you. I mean, it was horrible. When I perused social media about that, it was horrible. It just blinded my eyes. I mean, you all went deep throat on this guy like it was like it was Vanessa Del Rio back in the day. I mean, I don't understand you.
Hey, Bronsexuals, do this for my partner, will you please?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Stop the cap. Why? Because it's a pickup game. And then you all have to try
Drew League. That should tell you. It's the Drew League. That should tell you all you need to know right there.
And then you all want to rub Michael Jordan's nose in this. Why would you want to bring him into this equation when it's a doggone pickup game? And Jordan has been retired for 20 years. I mean, he is nestled quite comfortably being the billionaire that he is as the majority owner of the Hornets. Meanwhile, you want to invoke what he did in the past and simply throw shade and mud on him. At the same time, LeBron has this beautiful performance in a pickup game.
In case you didn't hear what my partner said, in a pick-up game. In a pickup game, y'all. You see, I'm gonna have my bronsexual confession later, but in a pickup game, you would think LeBron was saying this.
Oh my! Keep talking about.
Keep that same narrative energy when it begins. Hey, Bron and bronsexuals, I got something for you. It began and it ended the same damn week. And I know my partner's going to be pleased for this.
You can't handle the truth.
You're right about
Jack Nicholson.
Thank you, Jack Nicholson.
And I got these for Rod. I love you, but I got to do it. And I got these for these bronsexuals that have drool all over their mouth, not to mention the joy juice all over their lips, their face, and everywhere else. When speaking of LeBron in a pickup game, this is for you. And sometimes I know my partner, who will turn 50 next April, thinks
I'm getting too old for this.
Ain't that the doggone truth?
And while I'm throwing shade and while I'm throwing howitzers, sometimes when these bronsexuals get done and get off their knees, which are scraped to hell, like us falling off a bike at 10 years old, you have to think,
English, do you speak it?
No, they don't.
We know they don't. We know they don't.
Goodness gracious.
And a person like me thinks,
Oh, hell no.
Okay, so
I'm sorry. Please
no,
continue.
that's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
But did I echo any of your in-house sentiments effectively?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And I still have more, but yes. Okay. You did.
Go for it.
You know, here's the thing, bronsexual. You clowns think you're Ron Jeremy, but you realize that you are nothing but a Shannon Tweed, because you are all clamoring for LeBron James all over you.
This is the only time where you'll hear Ron Jeremy and Shannon Tweed in the same sentence.
I mean, you want to wear him like a cheap suit. I mean, you want him all over you. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's so. Oh, Lord. It's so bad. You're like a playmate in Hugh Hefner's mansion. That is how ridiculous you all are, because you want to talk about LeBron and shame everybody who actually has fact in saying, I don't think so, in retort. But
did you say retort?
Yes, I did say go ahead. I did say retort.
Whenever I see these bronzexuals, I think,
Holy on smoke!
and
I think I just broke my chair.
thank you to the late great Rod Bramlett. But
And I'm just getting started. The Drew League stuff was just a warm-up.
and all these bronzexuals, I can't even talk this morning. I'm so tired. Cole, this one's for you. All these bronzexuals are completely
Tone deaf.
a shout to A.L. Evans and everyone in the chat following along with us this morning. But 46 in the Drew League.
I don't care if he went Will Chamberlain and scored 100 in the Drew League. It doesn't matter.
I'll repeat something you said earlier. Remember, this is why we restricted this to Wednesdays, because if we try to do it any other day, we're going to lose even more brain cells than we actually lose doing it today.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Cole, for the idea.
Oh, no problem. And thank you, Sick, because I was heading there. You see, you all, bronzexuals, I mean, you all just really love to drink in the content that is LeBron Raymond James. And I said last week, and I continue to say it now, you all will be happy to lick the sweat that drops off his body. You all are so pathetic. Whenever you see the L and the E, you're like, oh, and flock to the computer screen.
I think I just broke my chair.
Hence, when I peruse social media again, and with this time, not seeing Drew League stuff, but seeing that LeBron is being LeBron and is wanting to force Russell Westbrook off the Lakers.
I did not need to be told that.
Thank you, George Carlin. Love you, brother. If you couldn't see that, that means you were a blindfold stuck in the basement, Stevie Wonder. You mean to tell me that you all were saying, well, yeah, he needs to go. That's how you all are, bronzexuals. I mean, you take the pom-poms, you're like, Russ needs to go. Russ needs to go. Russ needs to go. G to the O. G to the O. And last year, this time, you're like, Russ is the man. Russ is the man. Russ is the man. Make up your mind, bronzexuals. Either he is going to be...
I came for the facial.
In case you didn't hear it, Stacey King.
I didn't come for the massage, Funk. I came for the facial.
I should drop that a little later.
I'm gonna go there. Hey, bronzexuals. Whenever you see him and you want to lick the sweat off of his body and do a few other things, I see your wheels turning and you're thinking, it's bacon! Meanwhile, the rest of us with a rational thinking brain thinks, it just don't add up.
No, it doesn't add up. And here's what doesn't add up along with it. So you all want to go right to Adobe and go straight to Photoshop and superimpose another Lakers jersey on another quote elite close quote player. Because
it's sadly superimposed. I mean, I've worked with Adobe Photoshop for 12 years. It's not a lot compared to some of the more seasoned graphic artists. But I've had people tell me, for you only having it a few years, you do a better job than some of these other schmoes. And this came from an athletic director. This came from an assistant athletic director and quite a few SIDs that I know.
And
Here you go.
Oh, they are sick. Oh, and I'm still just getting started. I'm still just getting started. You superimpose mostly Kyrie Irving. That's right. That's right. I'm talking about the woke people's champion.
What?
The man without a cause.
What?
Uncle AWOL.
The rebel without a pause.
What?
And the rebel without a clue.
What?
Yes, I'm talking about him. Number 2 in Cleveland and 11 in Brooklyn and Boston. And you want to superimpose a Lakers jersey on Kevin Durant as well, because you all are fancying yourselves and saying, well, Westbrook is garbage, but Kyrie has seen the light. I mean, he has been immature, talked trash about LeBron, but he's a more mature man now. He's a more forward-thinking man now. He now has his head on straight. Is you out your doggone mind? This is the same guy who this year, I'm not talking about 2017, 18, 19, 20, and 21, this year, missed time because of principle, because he did not want to go against being vaccinated while the rest of his team did so. Oh, that is a shot to you, Mr. Wiggins. And yes, that's a slight shot to you, Mr. Wiggins, but I'm not talking about you. And this is the guy who clapped at LeBron last year, but all of a sudden now, because he did a mea culpa to him, that it's all good in the hood. And now that LeBron is wanting to have somebody groove a championship, play alongside him to win a championship, that it's all great. Thank you. That it's all great.
What?
It's all kosher.
What?
That it's all sympathetic, copacetic.
What?
That everything is cool.
What?
Everything is breezy.
What?
Everything is fine.
What?
Everything is absolutely A100.
What?
That they man 50 grand.
What?
Heck no. That dude is still as immature as an infant. And you mean to tell me that he is going to be wonderful alongside LeBron? You mean to tell me that Kyrie Irving, who has never played 82 ever played 82 games in an NBA season, is going to be the magic elixir? No. You mean to tell me that the guy who's not played 82 games this season will meet his magic elixir in curing all of his ills in LeBron James? Really?
Again, if you didn't hear my answer,
hell no. Really? So you mean LeBron James is going to be Kyrie Irving's ticket to being a professional?
Right.
And again,
hell no. You see, this is how you brown sexuals are.
You cannot say filth, flying filth in front of people.
I swear, you all really are like Linda Lovelace and Deep Throat. It's as if you just want to just open mouth and have them insert joystick in it.
I'm not singing.
I don't understand it. Why is it that you want to so desperately be sexualized hoes for this man? I don't understand it. And then you timed your entrance perfect, Mr. Dietz. And then you get to LeBron James capping on the Celtics. If you did not hear, someone asked him what he thought about the atmosphere in the TD Garden. And in the conversation, his show, The Shop, and this episode premiered Friday, he did not pull.
Still got that doggone thing on?
Yeah. He did not pull punches. He didn't hold back. And he talked about his view of fans who are in Boston. So it's known that he hates Boston fans. And when he was asked why, he said, quote, because they are racist as close quote.
Oh, hell no! Ain't nobody got time for that.
Now he went on and explained himself a little further by saying, quote, they will say anything, and it's fine. I will get back to that point in a moment. I mean, screw it. It's my life. It's stuff that I've been dealing with my whole life. I don't mind it. Like, I hear it. Like, if I hear somebody like close by, I'll check them real quick, and I'll move on to the game. There was like this FLBJ t-shirt. I believe they probably sold it at the effing team shop. The Celtics had something to do with that crap. Close quote. To the last statement, all I have to say to you, LeBron, is you doggone right there has something to do with it. You know what? So what?
Anybody say Indianapolis, Indiana?
Yeah, you climbed in my head. And as for your first statement in saying they will say anything and it's fine. No, it's not fine, sir, because you heard some chirping in the stands.
Like I said, anybody say Indianapolis, Indiana?
You heard some chirping in the stands. You
Chirp,
grabbed
chirp,
the
chirp.
You grabbed the referee. You head to the sideline. You got to courtside, and you pointed to a young lady to get her escorted off the court. And your wonderful bronzexuals was right there, like they were a throng of Debbie Does Dallas. That's good. That's right. Get the heifer gone. That's right. That's right. Get the heifer gone. That's right. That's right. Get the heifer gone. Yes. Your cheerleaders were all over the place. Happy. Singing the same song. Doing the same dance.
Never mind the result of the game.
No.
Never mind the result of the game, and the Pacers wiped out a 14-point deficit to tie in and go to overtime.
Right. Now, the Lakers did come back to win it, but yes. The Lakers blew a lead, but that was commonplace for that LeBron James led team that past year. But you Bron Sixers don't want to see that. I'll get to that. I'll get to that momentarily too. But to say that every single Boston Celtics fan is racist, well, we know of one. And if we were to call them racist, we'd be liars. So that ain't happening, homie.
Nope.
That's not happening. So, and then these idiots, and I'm talking about bronzexuals, try to back that play up with, Bill Russell's comments about Boston in the 60s. How, and of course this was true. I mean, he did receive racial epithets tossed at him from Bostonians. And he said that there's all sorts of racists in Boston, but other than that, it's cool. So yes, I understand that, and I understand that the Celtics were not as beloved as the Bruins were in Boston in the '60s, and I get that Boston has had its own share of racial strife. I get that. My own father said to me, "Boston's one of the most racist cities he's ever been in." I get it.
Been told the same.
I get it. And I'm not saying that is false, what he's saying. I'm saying calling Celtics fans racist as F is a bit lazy. Because they're
intellectually, spiritually, and emotionally lazy.
Because they're not racist. They're passionate. You know, like what a fan is supposed to be. If you and guaranteed, sir, if you were wearing the white and the shamrock green, you would be embracing the same fans you were calling racist.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be saying those are my kind of fans. You'd be the first to say it, LeBron, because you are just as bad as your bronzexuals. You will hit those knees hard. You will open your mouth and then you will insert the member in it, because when a camera is in your face, you go to town on the place. That is what you are, sir. You are a media hoe.
Use a media hoe. A media hoe.
And look, I know I risk being blackballed from him. In saying that, I know that. I don't care. It's the truth. And why is it? This segment is proof, because we're talking about this guy in July. We rarely talk about the NBA. We do every now and then, but we rarely talk about the NBA in July and September and in August, because it's supposed to be about baseball in July and football and baseball in August, and football starting up in September, and baseball going down going on the stretch, heading into the playoffs in October. And it used to be quiet in these NBA streets in the summer. Not with LeBron. Because it has to be something. It has to be anything. It has to be everything with him. And you bronzexuals eat it up. I mean, you eat it up like you turn them over and go to town on his behind. I mean, tossing all sorts of salad. It's just ridiculous how you all are. The fandom that you all, should I say enjoy? No, I won't say enjoy. The fandom that you all practice is sickening. Downright, utterly sickening. Because it gets tiresome. It gets tiresome when I see yet another, well, this is why Michael Jordan sucks and why LeBron is the GOAT type of talk. Do we need to hear yet another one of you bronzexuals say, well, Jordan was nothing without Pippen? Or, well, Jordan lost his first 6 years and didn't win a chip until the 7th? Or you all talk about Jordan only in years 91, 92, 93, 96, 97, 98, but you forget the other 9 when he didn't win a championship or even go to the finals. How many times we have to see these retread takes from you idiots? How many? 1 million? 2 million? 3 million? Because it gets sickening to see. It's as if you all are Dustin Hoffman and Rain Man. All of you are autistic. I don't understand you guys. It's as if you just simply turn off your brain and you just turn on the brain below your waist and you just go with that. And if I see another quote, when LeBron passes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that will solidify LeBron James being the greatest player of all time, close quote, takes. I will try to mobilize everybody who knows better and will do better and say to you guys, you have no clue. Study on the sport before 2003, and then maybe you might have a shot at having a nuanced conversation about this. Otherwise, no, I'm sorry. Mr. Johnson, you do it much better than I do. What say you, sir? These bronzexuals that only know the NBA from October 2003 onward and have no clue about what the NBA was before it. What say you, sir?
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
And let's go through these other takes, shall we? Like, LeBron is a better shooter than Michael Jordan.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Hell no. Hell to the no. Oh, now you woke me up. And we're gonna bring a Celtics fan in on the fun here. LeBron is a what?
What's up, Dietz?
What's up, guys?
What?
What's up, man? That LeBron's a better shooter than Jordan. No, but I'm not finished. That LeBron is a better passer than Jordan.
Bitch, are you for real?
That LeBron is a better all-around player than Jordan.
You for real?
That LeBron is a better statesman for the sport than Jordan. That LeBron can do what Jordan did, but better.
So good.
You see, Bron Sexuals, your thinking is similar to LeBron's. You pattern his thinking. It's lazy. It's pathetic. It's first grade level. And you all do not want to expand your brains and minds simply because it's much easier to see no evil, speak no evil, and do any evil. Because you think this guy who's 6'9" and 260 and has the grace of an elephant in the post and has 2 left feet every time he does any type of positioning with his feet and footwork is the greatest thing you've ever seen. But you all already think too, just like LeBron, that a lot of the league is racist, and that someone like me is racist because I don't eat everything that LeBron serves. I never will because he just isn't that guy. I've seen better. I now have seen better in his own era, and you can't debate that no matter how many times you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's gotten 4 chips in his era. Unfortunately, Bronsexuals, there's another who has won just as many rings. And oh, by the way, 3 of them came at your boy's expense. And don't give me but it took Durant to get 2 of those rings. Mr. Curry beat Mr. James in one of them without the services of one Kevin Durant. So you can miss me with all of that crap.
Mm-hmm.
He is what he is. He is an athlete that tries to take so many things, but because of it, he did not master one quality. Not one.
Oh, what was your thing? Jack of all trades, master of none?
Yes.
And Dietz has a thought for us. Go ahead, Chris.
Cole, you miss the dumbest part of this whole thing, and it's probably the funniest thing.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James is a minority stockholder in a company that owns a piece of, you guessed it, the Boston Red Sox.
Yep.
You just call. I know. I mean, I know LeBron doesn't know things about the world. Doesn't know things about where places are. But the Boston Red Sox and the Boston Celtics are in the same city
and have the same passionate fans for both.
I mean, I know. Right. I know. I'm the outlier of, like, I'm a Boston Celtics fan and a New York Mets fan. Right. But the majority of Boston Red Sox fans are Celtics fans. Right. You called your own fan base racist, you moron.
But this is the exact logic that I talk about brownsexuals. And this bears me out. And I'm so glad you brought that up, Mr. Dietz, because I have said this about LeBron and brownsexuals for the longest. My partner can back me up on this.
Yep.
Lazy thinking right there.
But the other thing is the other thing that LeBron fails to grasp is when he's asked why are Boston fans so racist, he goes right to, well, they wear shirts that have the F word on it.
So
I mean, Bill Russell greets Charles Barkley by giving him the finger.
Yeah, and we saw it on camera.
This isn't this is a New England thing.
That's what
And I know people from the Midwest, people from the South, they're not going to understand this.
Oh, I lived in the South and I totally understand it.
They're not going to understand. Like me and my friend, there are friends of mine that we greet each other with the F word. Like we greet each other saying, "Hey, F you." Like it's a greeting between us,
and that's all it is. It's a greeting.
The F word
women who says B's to each other.
It flows through New Englanders. It just comes out like it comes out in random conversation.
Okay.
So the fact that it's said at a basketball game is not shocking. It's not it's not something we want to say. It's not something excusable, but it happens. I mean,
but it's something he will kick a fan out for.
But it's something he will say. Well, they said the F word. They're racist. No, it's nothing against the color of your skin. It's the color of your
uniform.
And then oh boy. See, LeBron, I'll close this one out before I do my own. And Dietz, we'll keep you in the back and we'll see you at 10:05.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother.
LeBron, let me close this out. Let me close this because I got mine right after we intro the top of the year. LeBron, you just simply don't get it. You just don't. LeBron and bronsexuals alike do this.
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
And for that matter, quit being
Tone deaf.
And I will echo the eloquent words of my partner. And I'll put a twist to it. And I know I've written in my punishment book, I will not cuss about 100 times. I think my children and my grandchildren who understand the subject matter will forgive me for this one. Get out our face, you thirsty bitches.
Suckers.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty.
They go slurping. That's what they be doing.
Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronsexual Confessions.
Hour number 2 begins
right about.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
A ground ball past Jenks up the middle of the infield. Uribe has it. He throws. Out! A White Sox winner and a world championship. The White Sox have won the World Series and they're mobbing each other on the field.
This is Snowman in the morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
I'm so sorry, man. You're pushing this is what he wanted to play and I interrupted him. So I will reset And not only do I allow John Rooney to bring us in hour 2, Robert Ford, do the honors.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Mister, will you please wake up?
Here's a 2-1. And that's driven deep to left center field. Gardner is going back. Looking up. See you later. See you later. Astros headed back to the World Series. Jose Altuve, a walk-off 2-run homer. And the Astros beat the Yankees 6-4. Win the ALCS 4-2.
This is Snowman in the morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
Thank you, Robert Ford. And welcome to hour number 2 of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson with Brian Snow. I am Cole Johnson, and I have to address this really quick.
Before you do that, I'm going to address this. I owe you a ton of apologies this morning for stepping on your toes and stepping on your feet. And you see this? This is the mouse I have in front of my computer. It is now turned off. Well, I'll handle the audio sounds. You do the video. I appointed you EP for a reason. Now we're both now we're both producers. I owe you a ton of apologies. I didn't get much sleep last night, though it's not an excuse, and I will not use that as an excuse. I see, Cole warned me that once I got my reinforcements, I wouldn't know how to act. And I have more reinforcements coming, so I can have a 2-monitor setup, and I'm working on a 3rd. Yeah, Cole warned me I won't know how to act, but at the same time, being completely serious, I apologize, partner. I really do.
Yeah, that's understandable. That's understandable. I told him, like I said, you got all that stuff. Like, man, you will not know how to act, because I was that way.
And here's Rod. Old heads ignoring the chat. You know what, Rod? I say this very, very playfully, and I know he's going to get it. I know he's going to get a kick out of this. We're not ignoring the chat. We're just ignoring you.
Oh, but
we're not. We're not. We're just having fun with it. Like I said, when he recorded his promo, when Rod recorded his promo, I laughed my head off. I laughed my head off and Rod, you got to tell me, how'd you record that without laughing?
No,
okay, because I know I'm going to take at least, and he did, and he's got this advantage over me. He did his in one take. Me, I already know what it's going to take for me to do this, especially since I'm sitting here in my office. But and Rod using our phrase now. See, Rod's been officially inducted into Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. He's saying to one of our senior chat members, "Stop the cap." He's saying, "Stop the cap now." Rod, you've officially been introduced and inducted to the morning show. Now, my partner had something to address.
Yes. And this is to one, Mr. Rod Uncensored. You were saying that y'all remember when John Starks gave Jordan and Scotty a facial? Well, it was actually Jordan and Horace Grant.
Horace Grant, yep.
But I will let you go with that. That is reference of the game 2 slam with 1 minute to go to put the Knicks up 2-0 in that series. Rod, since you remember that time period very well, remind me, did the Knicks win another game in that series the rest of the way?
Hell no.
Oh, I hear silence. Yes, they did not.
Oh, by the way, Rod, who lit up those New York bricks with 54 points on the Memorial Day?
The following game.
I mean, game 3, you would think, and this is us having fun, folks, you would think that Michael Jordan shooting, you know what? Let me open the quote for me, please. My brain is scattered. I'm full of caffeine. Open the quote for me, please.
Quote.
From the Chicago Sun-Times in May of 1993. Imagine a game where Michael Jordan shoots 3 for 18 from the field. Imagine the Chicago Bulls winning that same game by 20 points. Stop laughing. It happened. Close it.
Close quote. Mm-hmm.
That brought him within 2 games to 1. And Sick Diggy, please be nice. Please be nice. Because Rod's having fun, just like you're having fun, and everybody else in the chat is having fun. That's the only time I have to playfully scold a couple folks in the chat. All right. Now I know Sick Diggy's just having fun with us, but I want to keep this clean. I want to keep this. Yeah. After I said, get out my face, you thirsty bleeps.
Mm-hmm.
Game 4, Michael Jordan took care of business himself after a 3 for 18 shooting performance with 54 points. And the significance of that game, I had an ex ask me, how do you remember dates and stuff? And when I told her, I get, oh, you just tie everything to sports.
Okay.
Yeah. What's the problem?
Right.
And here, thank you, Cole. And here's where I tie it to sports. You know when that 54-point game happened? Memorial Day. When the Bulls are usually playing in the playoffs and LeBron ain't. Oops, did I just drop that?
And at that time, they went that far. Let me see, in 991 to that was their 5th straight year they had played that far
on Memorial Day. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And let's see, Game 5. I remember June 2nd, 1993.
Oh,
after
man.
Game 5, I remember this headline. Open it.
All right. Quote.
The Bulls just pulled off a win in Madison Square Garden, just like they pulled off a slick diamond heist.
Close quote. Nice statement.
Hey, I knew some folks at the Chicago Sun-Times, and I knew the fellow who wrote that article. In fact, he was one of the guys that got me into covering high school sports 3 years later.
And poor Charles Smith.
Slick diamond heist.
And poor Charles Smith. I don't know. I don't know
Charles
if
Smith
I don't know if he wants to hear the word rejection ever again.
First of all, Charles Smith's career was ruined because he started with the Clippers.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And then he gets to the Knicks all the way up until that game, June 2nd, 1993. He was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then Scottie Pippen showed up.
Oh, my good Lord. So let me see if I get this straight. Scottie blocked 2 of his shots. Grant blocked another. And then he was coming up with a 4th time, and then Jordan gets the steal on him.
Yeah. Grant got in sequential order. Grant got the block. Jordan stripped him. Scottie blocked him twice.
I'm like,
in sequential order. Matter of fact, I'm gonna find that. I'm not gonna do a Bron sexual confession today because we got Ryan McCorfey coming up at the bottom of the hour, and we're gonna have some fun with him. Let me find that clip right now. You'll hear the fabulous Marv Albert.
Yep, he did a great job.
Man, look. Anytime the NBA was on NBC, you had to have Marv Albert.
Yeah.
We'll take it with 28.2 seconds left. And Stacey King had just got rejected. It's courtesy of NBC Sports, the Chicago Bulls, and the New York Knicks, and NBA Radio at the time, if y'all remember how they had the scores table set up. All right, this was at MSG, June 2nd, 1993.
28 and 8/10 seconds remaining. The Knicks down by 1 with the ball. Starks, played by Jordan. Ewing out to set a pick. Here's Starks, changed his mind. Plenty of time on the shot clock, down to 10. Ewing for Smith.
Blocked by Grant, stripped by MJ.
Final seconds. Jordan for Armstrong. And the Bulls have defeated the Knicks.
You know, even
love-
though the very next year I saw my beloved Rockets win a game in the finals there, I don't think I still ever heard the Garden that silent ever.
I just loved hearing him say, and the Bulls have defeated the Knicks.
Mm-hmm. And that was before Armstrong made the layup. Yeah,
That was before him, because as soon as Horace Grant got everything out, got the pass out of there, and Armstrong, who did the correct thing, took off because everything was on the inside. Grant, Pippen, and MJ took care of business. And as soon as he saw Horace Grant get a hold of it and get it out to MJ, Armstrong took off. And my best impression of Marv Albert, and the Bulls have defeated the Knicks. And you see Charles Smith spike the ball into the ground, and everybody on that Bulls bench got the hell out of there.
They ran, but they all bolted to the locker room.
They all got the hell out of Dodge. Okay, no replay was involved, no kind of crazy warnings like that. They knew they had to get one at MSG.
Yeah.
They had to get one at MSG. That was the only way they were going to win that was the only way they were going to win the series, and that was the only, during that first three-peat, that was the only series they did not have home court advantage.
Right.
Only series during that three-peat they did not have home court advantage. So they had to get one at the Garden. And then game 6 in Chicago Stadium.
Well, in that three-peat, they only 2 times because they did not have home court advantage. Started the series in '93, the '93 finals.
93. That's right. Thank you. Back-to-back series. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you're correct. The rest of that three-peat, the Bulls had home court.
And then game 6 on a somewhat cold night in Chicago.
Strange to say about June.
49. It was 49 degrees at tip-off. I'm going to try to find that one because for all you schmoes.
Not schmoes.
Yes, I said schmoes. Let me try to find this. For all you schmoes that somehow, some way want to disparage his airness, Rod, that want to disparage his airness. And I think that's one I don't have, unfortunately. That want to think that Scottie Pippen was not all of that. And believe me, my partner and I can come up with examples of people saying that very same thing. That's the only one I don't have of that series. Dagnabbit. It took a 3 by Scottie Pippen to seal the game. Stretched from an 87-82 lead to a 90-82 lead. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was that.
That was a great series.
It was. Fantastic series. Fantastic series. Because it's one of those when the Knicks went up 2-0. You think, oh my Lord.
Just about everybody and their mama thought, okay, well, the Knicks will unseat the Bulls here. Everybody and their mama.
And then we got home.
And that seemed to just change the whole.
And then we got home.
It seemed to change the whole momentum. Just having the chance to go from New York to Chicago, that seemed to be it for them. And they took that with them.
In the chat, we're Stuck in My Mind podcast when y'all need him on this. Man, do you know he would tear us to shreds?
Oh, gosh.
Playfully?
No,
he would have so much fun with
sick. You'd be seeing Wise on air doing this. we be talking
And I got a
about
question. And I got a question for Rod. Let me pick on Rod for a second.
Oh Lord.
Do you think LeBron ever has what it takes to tangle with one Dennis Rodman?
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Rodman would tie him in knots.
Hold up.
Uh-oh.
So, do you think that LeBron could really stand a great chance of being that monster against Dennis Rodman, Bishop?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Listen.
Dennis Rodman held in check Shaq. What makes you think that LeBron would be anything that would be a Rubik's Cube with him? This dude actually had the nuts to guard Jordan one-on-one. And actually did a decent job in doing so, I may add. What makes you think LeBron is going to be the one that would be like, oh yeah, he would just simply solve Dennis Rodman? No. No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And you would think he would. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got about 13 minutes to pull this one off.
All right.
Open the damn thing.
Oh, it's like that.
Open the damn
Lord. Oh,
Open
Lord.
the damn thing.
All right, here we go.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
All right. Cook.
Wardell Stephen Curry II.
Oh Lord, they've been comparing.
2022 Bill Russell.
I have something to share.
They've been comparing him to LeBron all
For years.
Yeah, for years, but ad nauseum been doing it for the past month.
Nauseum. I have something for you, Bronzexuals. Because, and Rod, this is not against you, since you openly admitted that you were a Bronzexual and you openly admitted that you're going to pick at me and us pick at you. So you're out of this equation. But be that as it may, I had a conversation with a Bronzexual. And this fish-eyed fool of an idiot,
oh my gosh,
said to me, quote, "It doesn't matter how many Steph wins, LeBron is still the GOAT." I wish I was fooling around when I wish I was fooling around. I wish I was fooling around. And Rod, nothing but love to you too, my friend. Nothing but love.
Nothing but love to you too, to Rod. But good God.
I didn't mean to make you choke. I'm sorry. But you know, you created this segment on Cole Sports on the Daily. You know the ridiculousness of these Bronzexuals and what they tend to say.
Yes, and it gets worse by the day. Yes. Oh my gosh. That was so hilarious. No matter how many rings Curry wins, that LeBron's still the GOAT.
Okay. And they
Lord
say
have mercy.
LeBron has 4 finals MVPs and Steph Curry doesn't have anything.
And that was before he won his in June.
And that was before this happened.
Thank you, Lisa. He's a 4-time NBA champion, a 2-time league MVP, a member of our 75th anniversary team, and for the first time ever, he's an NBA Finals MVP. The 2022 Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP award goes to Stephen Curry.
Put the respect on that name.
Here's Bill.
Yep.
Now, I have a question for these bronze sexuals.
Okay.
Did Bron's teammates ever chant MVP whenever he received a Finals MVP award?
Bitch, please.
Thank you. And just in case you missed the magic announcement, we'll go back there again.
The 2022 Bill Russell NBA Finals Most Valuable Player Award.
Thank you, Lisa. He's a 4-time NBA champion, a 2-time league MVP, a member of our 75th anniversary team, and for the first time ever, he's an NBA Finals MVP. The 2022 Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP award goes to Stephen Curry.
So happy for you, Steph. So happy for you, bro.
If you're supposed to be the greatest of all time,
right?
You don't let other players eat on your watch.
Forget that. If you're the greatest of your own era, you don't allow, which he's not. You don't allow someone in the same era and revolutionize the game that you, sir, did not. And
a simple thing called a jump shot.
And win as many rings as you did.
Nope.
Okay. Nope. All right. But before you continue, so this was not posed by a Brian Sexual. This actually was posed by a Celtics fan as I was perusing social media. But this is a pretty cool one. He asked the simple question of, so what does LeBron James need to do in your mind in order to become the greatest of all time? And my response was verbatim, quote, there isn't anything this man can do to be the greatest of all time. He can save babies. He can save 40 babies from a burning building while creating a dunk in a basketball game, and he still will not be the greatest basketball player of all time. Close quote. Thirsty heifers.
Take a bow, Cole Johnson. Take a bow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
For you see, bronze sexuals, you don't have the nuts.
Sure don't.
To admit that a 6'3" 200-pound point guard revolutionized the game on Yo Kang's watch. Set records on Yo Kang's watch. And let me see. Oh, yeah. Won championships on Yo Kang's watch. And in case you didn't hear,
2022 Bill Russell NBA Finals Most Valuable Player Award.
Thank you, Lisa. He's a 4-time NBA champion, a 2-time league MVP, a member of our 75th anniversary team, and for the first time ever, He's an NBA Finals MVP. The 2022 Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP award goes to Stephen Curry.
And listen for the chant from his teammates. Now, did James Harden ever get MVP chance? No. Did the Rebel Without a Pause get MVP chance? No. Did LeBron himself get MVP chance during the finals? No. So it's safe to say that, and I've said this a few 100,000 times on this program, LeBron's never had an era. Matter of fact, I'm going to do this. LeBron James as a basketball player, and as a basketball player, is complete and utter trash and has been for 20 years. Matter of fact, LeBron James has never had an era because, let's see, Kobe Bryant ate within it, Tim Duncan ate within it, and Wardell Stephen Curry II, who most of you bronzesexuals direct your vitriol towards, not only ate in it, but had a buffet. And while I'm busy doing things, this one's for Rod. So on Monday, the Rod Uncensored podcast and yours truly will have a debate about the fake GOAT, LeBron James, and the real GOAT, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I have a question for you, Rod. You sure you're up for this? You got to have fun with this. And bronzesexuals, quit being tone deaf. And yeah. So the fact that people want to say LeBron has revolutionized the game, which he hasn't, show me one thing he does that has revolutionized the game. I'll tell you what Kobe did to revolutionize the game. He echoed MJ's work ethic. He echoed MJ's game. Now, what did Tim Duncan do to revolutionize the game? He brought back something Kobe had, MJ had, and everybody else before him had. I believe it's called fundamentals. What did Stephen Curry do to revolutionize the game? He took the fundamentals of a point guard and the fundamentals of a shooting guard and extended his range out beyond 23 feet, 6 inches. And oh, by the way, you stupid bronzesexuals, then there's this.
The utter blasphemy.
Giannis lost by 30 in the game 7. KD swept in the first round. And B choked in front of a home crowd. Yada, yada, bleeping yada. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James is still the best basketball player in the world. That, my friends, is what you call some grade A, homogenized, Holstein bullshit.
Bitch, are you for real?
Thank you. And for all you bronzesexuals that think he revolutionized the game, which he didn't, my response is this. Period. Now, as I often say, and as my partner often says, get out my face, you thirsty heifers.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty.
They want to go downtown.
Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronzexual Confessions.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. Let's go to the Fanatics guest line where I welcome a person where I mistakenly said his last name incorrectly, and now it's become a pseudonym, and I'm going to put a lot of respect on it. Ryan McCoffey, a.k.a. Ryan McCarthy, a fan of the Rod Peterson Show, just like myself, which is where we met. Ryan McCoffey is with us. Good morning, Ryan. Great to have you.
Good morning. And I almost witnessed the death of a man on the internet today. I mean, gosh, sorry, Cole, you had to almost choke to death there.
Well, it was just hilarious when I heard their ridiculousness. And
Ryan, we're both fans of Rod Peterson. You're a fan of this show. You know the ridiculousness we go through.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
You know the ridiculousness we go through. I had the wonderful opportunity to be on No Credentials Required, and I forgot the question that Ryan asked me, and I was half asleep when we did that episode because I just got in from work. He asked me something, and I just looked at the camera and I said, "Move on, please." And Ryan cracked up. He said, and Ryan says, "Wait, you're not even gonna move on, please."
I think it was about the I think we were doing our NFL preview. I think I was doing an NFL preview, and I mentioned some team. I think it was Cleveland or
it was a Cleveland it was a Cleveland Browns question.
Of course it was.
And all I said was, "Move on, please.
Move on, please."
I mean,
wait, what?
We must have sat there, both of us, Ryan and I, must have sat there and cracked up for 10 minutes. And I'm just sitting there thinking, I know he's not going to edit this as much as we're laughing right now.
Oh, no, it was live. It was live.
It was. Oh, man. Ryan
You can't edit live.
You can't edit live? Yeah, you're right about that. You cannot edit live.
And for those who try, quit trying, okay?
There is no dump button on the internet.
Nope.
Nope.
I'm so happy to have Ryan on the show. I'm going to try to get him on as frequent as I can. We're getting to know Ryan McCoffey, and I said that purely by accident last week because I was tired. I was working off of 90 minutes of sleep. 90 minutes.
Ooh.
And my wife kept coming in. My wife kept coming in the studio and rubbing my shoulder. She says, "Baby, you really need to go to bed." And I kept saying, "Okay, I will go to bed." Every time I went to lay down, my brain wouldn't shut up.
You sound like my wife.
I rest my case.
Just start with a Q-tip. That's what I do.
I tried that.
Oh, you tried that? Okay.
Listen, we just moved into our new digs here, and
gotcha.
Yeah, we just moved 3.5
things are moving around where you don't think they're moving around. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Listen, you've heard this on Sportscast before, Cole. So have you. There are a lot of moving parts to this mess.
Oh gosh, yes.
There are a lot of moving parts. I'm in the process of ordering a backdrop, aka a green screen, so I can really do this right. And Ryan had a picture on Facebook of him in front of a green screen, and all I could think of, okay, that's going to be me next. And Jody saw that picture, and she put her arms around me. She says, "I can't wait till you start messing with green screen." I'm like, "Baby, you don't want that." And she starts laughing. She goes, "Yeah, I do. I want to see how creative you get." And then Cole opened his mouth and warned me after I got my brand new computer, and all Cole said was, "Man, you ain't gonna know how to act." And he said, I said, "What do you mean?" And I could just see Cole's face giving me the rock eyebrow, followed. Where is it? I could just see him giving me the rock eyebrow and asking,
"You for real?"
And he goes, "How many gigs does your new computer have?" 16 gigs of RAM.
Because that's a wrap. 16. I'm like, yeah.
16. I only wanted 8.
Mine has 8. and it does pretty good. 16? Yeah.
I only wanted to find a computer that has 8, but I looked on Facebook Marketplace and I asked and I had a week-long conversation with the person who sold me this. And it's like, okay, I can't help it. I got to get it. Yeah. And now I'm going to have 3 monitors on this desk. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to help it. I'm not going to be able to help it.
3 monitors is too much for my ADD. Gosh.
And you wonder why I have sounds in my ear when I'm doing post-production and putting the podcast out there. All right, let's get to know Ryan McCarthy. How did No Credentials Required get started?
All right, so the original adaptation of No Credentials Required was back in April 2019, and I was with a local website, local sports website covering sports, and we decided to start our own podcast. And I was trying to think of names, and I was thinking, well, what good name would kind of stick out in terms of podcast names? I was writing down names. I thought to myself, okay, we have a difficult time trying to get press credentials for some events. And I thought, wait a second, if you're doing a podcast, you don't need a credential or press pass to talk about sports, which is now my tagline for this podcast. So I thought to myself, what about No Credentials Required? And my co-host at the time says, that's an absolutely perfect name. Let's roll with that. So that's how No Credentials got started. And we had to go on hiatus after 2 episodes, less than 2 episodes. Unfortunately, my friend's mother had passed away. He was dealing with a lot of her stuff.
Sorry to hear that.
And he had shut down the website, which was unfortunate too. So about a year and a half later, here comes the pandemic, and I'm sitting there going, I kind of want to get I just finished my degree, got my degree, which you can see right up there in the mess right there.
Yeah.
Yep. And I said to myself, all right, I got to sharpen my skills because I really want to go into broadcasting. I got to sharpen my skills somehow. So I called him up. I said, hey, do you want to revive No Credentials Required? He says, absolutely. So we rebooted No Credentials Required. We got on the Belly Up Podcast Network, which is now Belly Up Media. And I'm also affiliated with a local affiliate named Godzilla Media. So right now, No Credentials Required. It's been going on I've been on this about 2 years now with some breaks in between. So just trying to figure out the correct niche for this particular podcast platform. So I'm on 2 podcast platforms, and right now, No Credentials Required. We're still running the thing. So that's how No Credentials Required got its start. Just a random name, and just started recording. Use my laptop and my microphone.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Ryan McCarthy joining us, telling us all about No Credentials Required. As I said, I had a chance to appear on No Credentials Required. Belly Up Sports is still in play for this show because we're on several featured networks right now, including my own Snowman Digital Media and SDM Sportsnet. I got to tell you, folks, if you have not had a chance to check out No Credentials Required, I suggest you do so because it's a great program. Do you do any play-by-play assignments?
We actually started to do some live sports on Belly Up Sports. We have a subset called Belly Up TV. We just started broadcasting last year. This past spring, we featured the Northern Louisiana Football Association. It's a small 9-on-9 football league, and we started broadcasting their games on delay. But I did a live play-by-play game last year. It was fun. I had a blast, and we're hoping to do some more with other leagues, but unfortunately they fell through. We're hoping to do more live sports on Belly Up TV coming up this fall. I know we have a live, and it's going to sound really funny, but we have a live croquet event coming up pretty soon, which is going to be fun. So you want to check that out. We actually just started also broadcasting the Florida Basketball Association. So we're going to start doing those games soon, and we're hoping to have more live sports. But I definitely want to get in the play-by-play scene. I want to do play-by-play for hockey. That would be everything. That would be my dream right there. So that's because one of my heroes is Doc Emmerich. Love the guy, the voice of American hockey. He's my favorite broadcaster. I was very sad when he retired at the end of 2020. But yeah, he's my broadcast, one of my broadcasting heroes. So I'm hoping that we can get into hockey. But yeah, play-by-play is so much fun because you're in the moment and you just got to come up with, if you're trying to come up with a tagline or just something fun to say while a play's going on, you just right at the top of your head think about it and just roll with it and see how people react. But I loved doing play-by-play. I'm hoping to do more soon.
It's like you said, you gotta come up with something off the top of your head. I've been doing it for 25 years. I will officially celebrate season 25 coming this year, even though I'm a couple years ahead. Health problems got in the way. Yep. But I got a call in February from University of North Carolina, Greensboro, from my buddy Colby. And he said, "Can you do a game for us tomorrow? I know this is last minute, but can you do a game for us tomorrow?" It was when UNCG hosted Appalachian State. And I was about to say no. And I said, "Colby, I got a question." He says, "What's that?" "I'm in Indiana, but is there a way we can do this remotely?" He said, "Oh, hell yeah. Nothing Zoom can't fix." Off to the races we went.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Off to the races we went. And I'm going, that just popped in my head. And my wife walks by and I'm going, "I'm going to do a baseball game tomorrow." And she goes, "Yeah, I know." Like, wait a minute.
Like, I expected you to do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. How? And she just comes up to me and says, "This is you. You're a sports nerd, and you just got your biggest opportunity."
Wow, she put it beautifully and succinctly.
And walked off.
Yeah.
Like a Frank Thomas home run. She walked off with a smile on her face. And I'm going, how'd she know this? It's Jody. It's my wife. And she knows me. That's about as plain as it gets.
Yeah.
That's about as plain as it gets. So I'm definitely looking forward to the new play-by-play season. What else you got up your sleeve this coming year?
Well, I've been doing a lot of doing my backbone is writing. So I've been doing a lot more writing. I've tried putting up some more articles on bellyupsports.com. My main beat is the New York Jets. So this year is going to be this year's going to be fun. I think this year's going to be so much fun. It's not going to be the usual misery that Jets fans have experienced over the last decade and a half.
Oh, you don't think so?
I don't think so. This it's gonna be a fun team. So I'm gonna also be doing a podcast for No Crunchers Required. I'm gonna do a New York Jets preview. I had the opportunity the last episode of No Crunchers Required to interview five NHL draft hopefuls. I don't think any of them got drafted, if I'm not mistaken, but it was a fun opportunity to interview 5 NHL draft hopefuls. Doing some photography as well. But no, right now it's just I'm concentrating on writing. I'm concentrating on trying to get more guests for No Crunch Required. Do some random topics like a top 5 rank. The coming soon, my top 5 rank will be top 5 pro athletes who have come through the Albany area. And I'll drop some names. Now watch your toes. I just want watch your toes, gentlemen. I'm going to drop some names.
Drop them.
Who have come through the Albany area, which is where I live.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Ellie.
Mm-hmm. Mario Ellie.
Albany Patroons.
American University. Yep.
Bernie Williams.
Okay. Burns, baby Burns.
Yankee great.
Spent 3 seasons with an Albany Colony Yankee. John Madden from hockey. He had a really good career. Patrick Eliash, former Albany River Rat.
I've heard that name in a minute. Wow.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else. Annie Pettit has been was an Albany Colony Yankee.
One of the ultimate lefties.
Derek Jeter spent a cup of coffee back in '94 with the Albany Colony Yankees. Dallas Keuchel, Carlos Correa, George Springer.
See, all you had to say through that bunch was Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter, number 2.
Number 2.
We had an episode with Wise on Friday where we all were doing impressions of the great Bob Shepard.
Bob Shepard.
Yeah,
I mean,
Bob Shepard, man.
Bob Shepard was the voice of Yankee Stadium, old and new. And new one because they recorded his voice introducing Derek Jeter. All right.
I might have to do that with Wise to be like, and now batting Wise. And,
yeah.
And now betting number 420, Wise El Jefe. 420.
You better drop that. You better drop that. And I already know how I'm going to introduce Ryan. What's your favorite number? What's your favorite number?
My favorite number is 14.
14? Okay.
14.
See, and that's perfect because one of my favorite PA announcers, y'all should recognize, Gene Honda, longtime PA voice of the Chicago White Sox.
Mm-hmm.
And all I could do is do a combination of Bob Shepard and Gene Honda, the first baseman, number 14, Ryan McCoffey.
Nice.
So we're gonna have some total fun with this. Ryan McCoffey, aka Ryan McCarthy, joining us here on the program, getting us caught up. We're getting to know him, and he's gonna be back with us for a while. He's gonna be with us, and he'll be on the show frequently. Thank you very much, Ryan. Had a blast. Can't wait to do it again.
And thank you, man, for being one of the most look forward to persons in the chat too.
Yes.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
And
so
yes,
much, guys.
And yes, Ryan, I will continue to put some respect on Ryan McCoffey on that. On that pseudonym. I think
stir that drink.
Stir the drink.
Hey, I gotta get a refill here. We haven't taken a break yet during this program.
Oh man.
But, yeah. Oh, thank you, Ryan. I love you, brother. Thank you so much,
man.
Thank you, fellas. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
Ryan McCoffey has just left the building. Ryan McCoffey has just left the building.
Yeah, man. Good peoples.
Good man.
And now that we got a chance to talk to him, I feel even more solidified in how I felt about him. And I had a high respect for him before then. So
The Information Man show's in the house with us. Peace and respect, guys. Peace and respect.
Doing, man?
You.
How you doing, fam?
Sick Diggy, and through all the madness, Chris Bass is screaming, "Where to go,
Sammy? Where to go, Sammy?"
Yep. Thank you, Sick, for that one. Stir like coffee. I'd insert a couple of words, but I made a promise. Snowman was going through withdrawal. Yeah, going through old school sports withdrawal. Sick again. Nice shape up. Ryan McCarthy, and thank you, Ryan, for that. Andrew greeted us. Good morning to you. And I'll let you answer this question.
Was that the good stuff you were smoking? Lord have mercy.
You already know what happened. All right. Okay, 7 minutes away from the top of the hour. Cole and I just chilling out here, getting ready for the top of the hour. As a matter of fact, Cole, why don't you take us to break, and then we will begin hour number 3. And I'm going to let you push the buttons before I push the wrong one again. It's Cole Johnson. It's the Snowman. It's everybody in the chat that's with us, and we thank y'all. If you're watching us on YouTube and BS3 TV, and you're listening to us on SDM Sports Radio and Real Wise Radio, hour 3 after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey everybody, Snowman here. Thanks for listening to this episode of Snowman in the Morning. You can support us at Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson every time you shop for fan gear or collectibles at Fanatics. Just visit officialsitmorn.com/fanatics and click on the Fanatics logo. Then shop as planned and we'll get a commission on your sale that will help us a ton. Next time you're going to shop at Fanatics, just visit officialsitmorn.com/fanatics and support our morning show. Thanks.
Discouragement, sorrow, distance. Your arguments cause damage to your family. The hurt leads to divorce. You feel like there is nowhere else to turn. But there is hope for you. That's where we come into play. There is an overcomer that lives inside of you. One ready to take on the world as you leap for joy, living in victory. You'll grow to love yourself and others. There's life after divorce, and you can claim it today. Get Over Divorce, where your new story begins here every Thursday on YouTube and Spreaker.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
He's a 4-time NBA champion, a 2-time league MVP, a member of our 75th anniversary team, and for the first time ever, he's an NBA Finals MVP. The 2022 Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP award goes to Stephen Curry.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
It's the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts. Every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Malone will inbound. Fisher's in the game. Walton, O'Neal, and of course Bryant.
And everyone is paying attention to Kobe Bryant.
They start with Shaq. He gives it to Walton. Here comes Kobe. Less than 5 from way outside. Got it! Oh, man! With 2.1.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
You are now inside hour number 3 of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, with Brian Snow. I am Cole Johnson, and on tap very soon. You saw him earlier in this episode. You will see him very shortly. The one, the only Mr. Fit Down Sports Podcast own Chris Dietz.
And at the bottom of this hour, we'll talk Big Blue happenings with Stacy Purcell. We'll talk UK defense. Who's going to lead it? How are they going to perform? And what are they doing to get ready for the new season?
Yeah.
While we got a moment, A Pizzle, what's going on with you? And all I have to say is I can't wait till tomorrow.
Well, I know you can't wait till tomorrow. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be on too long.
I know. We know I'm just glad we do Braun Sexual Confessions on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad we're doing it on Wednesdays.
But of course my feelings, of course, would be I hope that your day will be wonderfully celebratory, because for more than just you reaching the 5th decade of your life, and the 51st trip around your son will begin tomorrow, but what you've endured from last summer to this, and you're not only still standing, but you're walking, you're thriving. That speaks a lot to the perseverance and determination that you have.
And I'm getting stronger.
Yeah.
I just took my dog out and walked around the porch, and she wanted to chase a squirrel. Lucy did, but I couldn't let her loose, and plus the leash wouldn't go that far. I mean, I opened the door, she saw that squirrel and took off, ducked under the porch, ducked under one of the ledges of the porch. She's like, Lucy, stop. And then she just comes back to me with this hangdog face and the puppy dog eyes, and like, I'm sorry, Daddy. Yeah, don't do it again.
Oh no.
My wife is definitely the disciplinarian when it comes to that little dog. Okay, she's had her longer than I. I'm learning to be more of a disciplinarian, but all that dog has to do, and it's a girl, all that dog has to do is just hop on my chest or my back and just like, or as she does at night, flop against my stomach and fall asleep. That's all she has to do. All right, hour 3. Let's get down to business and bring back Chris Dietz. And Dietz, I made you a promise, and I'm going to keep that promise. The floor is yours.
All right. Well, first off, a preemptive happy 50th.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And before I get cooking, Cole, do you want to let the people know what's happening tomorrow, or do you want to save that for the end?
We could save that for the end, and it may I may need to tweak something along those lines.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm always available. So
okay, sweet.
Yeah,
I'm
very flexible. So,
but we could do this now. I scheduled Chris Dietz to be on the new show that's going to be premiere one of the episodes today, called Revelations. It's of course an interview platform. I had him scheduled tomorrow. Unfortunately, there's going to be some sort of issue here with me, so I guess I'm doing this on air. If you don't mind, if I can reschedule. But your boy Dietz and yours truly will be doing an interview together.
Like I said, I'm flexible, and just give me the heads up.
We'll do.
Give me the heads up. Tell me when to be, where I have to be, and I'm in.
Okay. And speaking of being being a part of something, Dietz will headline our college football coverage for a 6th season. I beg your pardon. Dietz will ride with us for a 6th season covering college football. So, and he was one of my first insiders that agreed.
A 6th season of covering this, and I mean, I was thinking back the other day, just of how many things the Fifth Down has gotten. Like months before everybody got into it. And it was when you brought up the Deshaun Watson, and we've been following this Deshaun Watson thing forever, and it's just without sources we report the facts, and then 3 weeks later they're like, oh, by the way, this happened. And I'm like, I said that. I was like, I just said that was going to happen.
And Dietz, and I love the way Dietz is. He would like send me a note or send me a message and go, where did I say this first? He would actually say, who said this first and where was it said? I just smile, because if anything happens, we have it here. And it ain't about and most of the time it's not about being first, it's about being right. But in this case, Chris was both.
It's It's
a
always
beautiful job to be both. Yeah.
It's always about being right, but it's always about, reading the tea leaves too. It's about
a mile away.
And that's what the fifth down. That's what this show, Snowman in the Morning. That's what these shows are about. It's not about whether we're right. It's about we use the historical data to form what to figure out what's going to happen.
And we do here, and on Fifth Down, what they don't do on the big networks. And I'm including Jim Rome on this one because I mentioned him yesterday, and I said I would somewhat give him a pass. Now I don't, because I included CBS Sports Network and the other networks for being fed dirty money not to report the facts. And this is where I give Chris the floor.
Well, I sent you the message that I got from CBS just yesterday, where it said NFL executives expect the suspension to be less than 6 games.
Man, we said this well before. We said this 2 months ago.
Well, and here's how we said it. We said the NFLPA, who is the worst labor union in the league, hasn't said jack. But if they have to say something, they got to have something of impact to do so. And enter what Dietz said.
And the fact that the ruling's been in. The ruling's been in since last Monday. The fact that they haven't come out with anything yet tells you everything you need to know.
Yep.
And the fact that it hasn't come out, and I said it on last week's show, I'll say it again tomorrow night. They're going to release this Friday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep.
They're because they know that at 5 o'clock on a summer weekend, everybody's thinking, let's get the hell out of Dodge.
Yep.
They're not thinking, let's stay and ask the hard questions. They're thinking, all right, let's report on this and let's get out of here. That's what the NFL wants. They don't want anything. They don't want anything to do with this.
No,
they don't want anything.
And that's, I mean, the longer this people are saying, I've been seeing people say a lot of things over the last week. And Snowman, I sent you the New York Times article with the depositions in it, which, again,
sickening.
I say read it,
very sickening.
But at the same time, I say you're gonna get about three seconds into it, and you're gonna be like, I don't want to read anymore.
And that's exactly what happened.
It's one of the grossest things I've ever read, and that says a lot about this issue and a lot about what everybody's been saying. Look, the depositions have been they're horrible human behavior, but they're not criminal. Nothing Deshaun Watson has done is and that's where it gets me, as in, all right, so he broke the personal conduct policy. But where does the personal conduct policy end? Like, does it have to do directly with football? Does it have to be related to football? Does it have to be drawn out in a court of law? Like, at what point do you say, well, you're just a horrible human being, so you're breaking the personal conduct policy?
Chris Dietz joining us here as he does every Wednesday on the program, and there is where the blurred line happens.
And
that's exactly where the blurred line happens.
And then you have to ask the second question of, all right, if he did break the personal conduct policy, what's the maximum penalty? What's the max that you can do for that? Because
the bad part is that's not defined. That has never, as long as I've been watching football and watching the NFL, that has never been defined.
Excuse me. Yeah, that's what has to be defined. That's what has to be defined of what can they do and what's possible, because that's what's at issue here. But I mean, this situation, they have to get it done. The Browns go to practice on a week from today.
Mm-hmm.
A week from today, the Browns open practice.
Yep.
And they're not going to drop this on a Wednesday. They're not going to drop this on a Tuesday afternoon.
No, they're not.
They're not going to just drop this on it. And that's why I'm saying the verdict's been in. They're just trying to figure out how they can spin this.
And when you said that, and you also you posed a question a little over a month ago that has already been answered internally, but it's going to be answered publicly when the ruling drops. Which way does Roger Goodell lean? Does he want to be a misogynist or does he want to be racist? Because there are two cans of worms that can be sliced open here. Which is the lesser, in Roger Goodell's eyes, which is the lesser of two evils?
Oh, the lesser of two, the lesser of two evils. You always go when in the NFL. You always anger the women. That's easy to get. That's easily more recoverable.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said this for the last few weeks when asked to explain this.
Yeah,
it's simple. And ask any. I know a lot of female football fans.
Yes.
Female football fans care about their team.
Yes.
They care about their team. They don't care about the league. They care about their team and watching their team and cheering for their team. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So if Deshaun Watson doesn't play for their team, they don't care.
They really don't.
So you can piss them off all you want because they're going to come back when their team is on.
Mm-hmm.
If you piss off the African American vote, you're done. I mean that you've already got enough trouble with the kneeling situation and everything else that's gone on.
Mm-hmm.
You've got all of that. I mean, you're basically out of the weeds on that one.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to bring that. You don't want to bring that back in because if they go that route, that's going to be one of the first things. Oh, why don't they just kneel? They're going to be. It's going to be back to kneeling. The kneeling situation is going to be brought back up. It's going to be a whole new can of worms.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to and you don't want that. So why even entertain it? But like I said, we'll see what Roger Goodell does, and we'll call him out on either side that he does.
And there's going to be a lot to call out either way with either the racist issue or the misogynistic issue. And I agree with you. The misogynistic issue is, in Roger Goodell's eyes and the Shield's eyes, easily more recoverable from than the racist issue, because there have been a lot of racist issues with the NFL and other professional leagues that have been swept under the rug. And Dietz, you said it on my show a few years ago. No one wants to touch them.
No, they don't, and they want to avoid that at all costs. They want to avoid any kind of strife, and you saw that with the whole kneeling situation. They got the entire league to kneel for the national anthem. They're gonna bend to the will of whatever they have to do to avoid having those tough discussions. But I'm telling you, if they come at Deshaun Watson, they're going to have a lot of tough discussions that have to be made.
And now Deshaun Watson's camp, if the official announcement is, and I don't think it is, that he's suspended for a year, then Deshaun Watson has a counter move, and that he will sue the NFL. Your thoughts on first? I'll go to Dietz. Your thoughts on that? Yeah, please.
Absolutely. He has every right to do that. He has every right to do that, and he's got so much ammo in his pocket. I mean, you you read the New York Times. If you read the New York Times piece, there's no way the Houston Texans walk away from this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from non-disclosure agreements to facilities to perform all this stuff,
to selling with them on their own,
to settling 30 cases.
Yep.
Last time I checked, Deshaun Watson was facing 24.
Yes.
So settling 30 cases, where'd these other 6 cases come from?
And according also to the New York Times, the magic number was 66.
It's 66.
The magic number was 66 according to the New York Times.
56 and 17 months.
In a 17-month span. I mean, how many massages is that? In a 17-month span? 66? That's insane. That's like a massage every 3 days.
That's about right.
Or less than that.
I mean, that's insane. Like, who does that? And there's just so much going on. It's so crazy. But Snowman, I know you're having trouble waking up, so let me wake you up a little bit, because I did some research the other day on your favorite non-Hall of Famer, and I found the real reason he should be in the Hall of Fame.
All right, have at it.
All right,
the real reasoning.
Roger Craig is already a member of a very special elite Hall of Fame, especially to the Fifth Down Sports Show. He is a member of the Iowa High School Football Hall of Fame. And you know how we feel. You know how we feel about Iowa football. That's more important to me. That he is an Iowa Hall of Fame member. So found that out about Roger Craig, and that makes me even more excited. We need to really get on getting him into the Hall of Fame.
Agreed. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that.
So, Cole, I got two stories for you.
All right.
So I'll let you pick the one you want. So I'll give you the broad topics. The first one deals with jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
The second story deals with an attack on women. Which story would you like me to go to?
Let's go with the attack on women one.
All right. So do you know who Leah Thompson is?
Hollywood actress in the 80s. Yeah.
No, Leah. Yeah. No, the new Leah Thompson.
Then that I don't know. Okay.
She is the NCAA Women's Athlete of the Year.
Oh, no, you mean Leah Thomas.
Yes, Thomas. There you go.
Yes, I do know that name.
Leah Thomas. But here's where this story gets even better. Yeah. Here's where this story gets even better. So there's a photo of Leah Thomas winning her awards. There's a girl swimmer from Kentucky who's in the back of the photo. And when Leah Thomas was announced as being the NCAA Woman of the Year, the girl from Kentucky posted on her Instagram or Twitter, she put, "Hey NCAA, this is the only real girl in this photo, and this is complete BS." And she went off on this, and she was like, "This is a slap in the face to every woman that's ever competed. How can you do this? I'm the only one in that photo that's real." Oh my God, I almost fell out of my I almost fell off my bed watching it. Oh my God. This is how crazy life has become.
I can't.
Leah Thomas, a woman, a girl, a man who just started calling himself a woman is the NCAA Woman Athlete of the Year. You can't make this stuff up.
Unfortunately, you can't.
You can't make this stuff up. So that brings me to my other story, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday. I talked about it on my show last week. We're going to talk about it again. We're going to be talking about this till probably the end of time because this is one of the craziest stories I've ever heard. So a new comic book venture was started, and it was started up, and of course, once they hit $2.7 million in their comic, well, everybody jumped out of the woodwork to start ripping on the guy. So the Rippaverse comes out, and everybody starts going off on him. Well, one of these people known as Black Sands Productions makes a tweet because my boy Eric July was on Fox News, and Black Sands Productions has a tweet about it where they post him on Fox News and says, "We are the #1 black comic book, and we will never be associated with somebody who goes on Fox News."
Oh, Lord.
Period. Next line in the tweet, Eric July is an Uncle Tom.
Not surprised in the least.
There's more to this story. This is where the story gets funny.
Uh-oh.
So you go to Black Sands. So if you go to Black Sands Productions and you look at what they're up to and what they're all about, they have that tagline, #1 black comic. Well, I'm pretty sure that's going away when they realize they didn't make $2.7 million in 8 days.
Right.
They still have 69 days left of the campaign. This thing's gonna explode. But that's not even the funny part. The next funny part is the very next line says, as seen on a famous television talk show where entrepreneurs get a chance to bid on those sense things. That's right. They were on Shark Tank, where Mark Cuban bought 30% of this company for $500,000. But they don't do business with people who go on Fox News. Mark Cuban's been on Fox News for years. He goes on Fox Business. He goes
even before he became owner of the Dallas Mavericks.
And they actually tweet, "We don't do business with people that appear on Fox News." Are you not taking Mark Cuban's money? I mean, this is where jealousy and just blows up in your face. Because you look at that and go, Mark Cuban just gave, and then you look at the second half of it. And Uncle Tom, they call this guy an Uncle Tom, a guy who put up $200,000 of his own money to start his business. You call him an Uncle Tom, yet you took $500,000 from Mark Cuban.
This teaches you to not cut off your nose to spite your face.
Yep.
And not to mention, it's like I said before, bringing it back to when I was on before with LeBron. You could have said you're a minority, you're an owner. You're an owner of a business. Why wouldn't you just go out and say, you don't even have to say you like the guy. You just have to go, congratulations, welcome to the game. You would have gotten a flood of people coming to your site to say, "Oh, they congratulated. Let's see what these guys are about."
Right.
But no, you go insult someone, and then everybody digs out on you digs up your background and go, well, you're just a hypocrite now. No one's going to buy your stuff. This is what hatred does to people.
Yes.
And with these last two stories, the reason I bring them here and I bring them up is because, guys, if you're not laughing at these stories, we're in a real problem. Because if you take these seriously,
well, there are people that do. We don't.
We can't. We can't take these here. Like, I can't take them. I find them absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, like a man being a woman of the year. Yeah, that is hilarious.
And the best part of that story is she said the real girl in that photo. That's how mic drop. That was a mic drop moment.
Yes.
But if we take ourselves too seriously, we're gonna explode with everything that's going on.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
And I know I still got a few minutes, so I gotta get this in.
Okay.
Thank you to the Pac-12 for standing their ground and not joining the Big 12.
And not merging. Yeah. Absolutely right.
I'm
surprised
huge.
They did. But I'm good. It's good that they did. I'm surprised they did.
I mean, I imagine this is let's hold out for a couple. It's going to be a couple of years, and then everything's going to come together. But at least we get a couple more years. And this is something. This was going to be my first short. My first short video was going to be about this scenario. Until LeBron James trucked that whole thing and
opened his mouth and put his foot.
We had a brand new one, but we'll be doing a short video on this, and we'll be talking about this a lot tomorrow's Fifth Down Sports Show. But this is the problem. People are saying, "Oh, these big conferences," and Snowman, your boy Colin Cowherd is right at the front of this. He's at the front line of.
Yeah, he is.
We need a bigger playoff. A bigger playoff will get more of these teams in. And he actually said this on his air. I wrote down the quote. I wrote down the quote of, because you'll get 7 SEC teams. You'll get 3 from the Big 12. You'll get 2 from the ACC. And I'm like, where are you getting these 2 ACC teams from? You're going to get 16 teams. You're going to get about 10 SEC teams.
If not more.
You're going to destroy the regular season. You're going to destroy that. That's what Colin Cowherd wants. He wants the destruction of the regular season.
Yes.
He doesn't want the regular season to be played.
He wants it to be. He just wants to move. He just wants to move right to the playoff.
I mean,
he just wants to move right to the playoff.
I mean, think about this. Think about this for 1 second. If you watch last year, if we had a 16-team playoff last year,
right,
and you're watching Ohio State play Michigan, and that game has no meaning anymore.
None.
Right.
None.
What's the point? If Ohio State's going to get in anyway, what's the point? Other than to say we won the Big Ten, and no one cares. No one's going to care about that. We saw that with Alabama when they lost the SEC championship and went on to win the national title. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to care.
I'll throw a scenario that I talked about before, and I've mentioned it, Dietz, to you, and I've mentioned it to Cole, and I've mentioned it on this program. Go back 2 years when Ohio State played Northwestern for the Big Ten championship at Lucas Stadium. And the only question that I had to pose with all of the breaks that Ohio State was given during that COVID year, what if Northwestern had pulled the upset? And to echo Chris's point, they say Northwestern doesn't travel. Anybody see the Rose Bowl from 1996?
Did anybody see that? Did anybody see that game?
Three quarters of the Rose Bowl was purple.
the game in Indianapolis. They had 3 quarters. They had 3 quarters of that stadium.
Lucas Oil Stadium was purple
against Ohio State in a Big Ten championship game. Northwest. I'm willing to bet Northwestern fans outnumbered Ohio State.
Are you kidding me?
Because I saw that crowd.
The last 2 times that Northwestern and Ohio State played for the Big Ten championship, 2018 and 2020, NU fans outnumbered Ohio State fans because Ohio State is the Ohio State fans are elite in thinking we're going to get in the playoff anyway, and we don't have to show up in Indianapolis. We don't have to show them anything because we're going to travel anyway. That's what they're thinking. We don't. They're going to travel. They're going to travel. We're going to travel anyway. Which totally gets on my nerve. And I say again, what if Northwestern would have won the Big Ten championship game either of those 2 years? Would they have gotten a sniff of the playoff, even being the Big Ten champs? My answer is no.
I've said this for years. I've said it since day one of my show. I've been saying it since before my show. Mm-hmm. If you're going, I don't care. I don't care if you expand the playoff. You can expand it to as many teams as you want to throw in there, however long you want to play this out for.
Yes.
But you need to do a criteria first. There needs to be a criteria for how you make the playoff, and it cannot ruin the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot ruin.
How many times have you said that?
Week. You can't ruin rivalry week. You cannot ruin UCLA versus USC. Those games have to matter. The Iron Bowl has to matter.
And now with
all
the way
the other big time rivalries, if you just say, well, we're going to take the top 16 teams, well, Ohio State, Michigan no longer matters.
No longer matters.
And not to mention the winner of that game. I mean, if you're going to have a 16-team tournament, then you're going to have to do away with conference championships
because they don't matter. They don't mean anything anymore.
What's the point? What's the point of playing? What's the point of Alabama playing Georgia for the SEC championship if they're both getting? If we know that they're both getting in.
Mm-hmm.
Now they both got in last year, but remember that was because Alabama beat Georgia.
Yeah.
If Alabama had lost that game, they probably get knocked out of the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that game mattered.
Yeah.
But if neither team can get knocked out because they made the SEC championship game, then what's the point of playing it? There's no point in playing for the SEC championship game. And not to mention a team like Ohio, like just taking last year's evidence, Ohio State would have been in the playoff without playing in a conference championship game.
Right.
So every team that played in a conference championship game, they had to play an extra game while Ohio State got to sit at home and rest.
Mm-hmm.
How's that fair to the rest? How's that fair to anybody else? Where Alabama had to go play a meaningless game against Georgia, risk injury to their players, and be extra tired for the next game. You have to take all of these logistics into account when you expand the playoff. And I heard Colin Cowherd say this. Oh, it could be like college basketball. That's the point.
I've heard that.
College football is not college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
College basketball, the regular season means no one watches the regular season. Maybe Duke, North Carolina. That's about it.
And that's both matchups. Should the second one mean something, no matter where it's played? Should the second one mean something?
But that's college football. Every Saturday matters.
Mm-hmm.
Every Saturday, not
every game matters.
Just the big time game. Not when Ohio State plays Oregon. When Ohio State plays Akron in the beginning of the season, that game matters. Mm-hmm. All of the games matter. That's what makes college football different from every other sport, professional or otherwise. If you give that up for a 16-team playoff, you lose all the essence of college football.
Chris Dietz join us as he does every Wednesday at 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Man, I can't wait to get the college football coverage cranked up, and we're going to crank it up in August. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right, and everybody, make sure if you're in the chat and if you're listening to this, make sure you head over to Fifth Down Sports Show on YouTube as well. We'll have a lot more videos coming. My goal for Thursday is to figure out how to get other people's videos on my show so that I can start bringing guests on.
Oh, no problem.
That's my goal for Thursday before I do my show. I'm still trying to learn how to use YouTube. So
okay,
that's my goal from now till Thursday.
All right.
But we'll be doing a lot more. We'll be doing a lot more shorts, a lot more stuff, and talking about a lot more things. And we're getting ready for the regular season. Once the regular season kicks off, we'll be in full gear, man.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. And thanks for coming back for a 6th season to head up our college football coverage. I love you, brother. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me.
Chris Dietz joining us as he does every Wednesday. And now, speaking of college football, I am thrilled and honored to welcome Stacy Purcell as we talk big blue happenings on today's program. Good morning, Stacy. Good to have you.
Good morning. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Missed you last week, but we know why. Health and doctor has to come first. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling a lot better. I'm off my medication, so I won't be as fuzzy as I was the last time I talked. I'm sure everybody's like, what is she on? It was hydrocodone, but I'm off and I'm healthy and I'm in physical therapy for my hands, so I'm doing great.
That's good. That's good. Let's talk some big blue happenings. And we talked offense a couple weeks ago. Let's talk defense this time. And I begin with this. I begin with this question: playing in the SEC, where you're going to see the likes of Georgia and Alabama and others, how big is it going to be for the big blue defense to stand up and get stops, especially when they need it?
Well, I tell you what, here in Kentucky football, their defensive line is known as the Big Blue Wall, and they live up to it. Our defensive line is awesome. Now, after our Citrus Bowl win this past year, we were kind of worried because we thought we were going to lose a lot of players to the NFL. We actually lost 2 defensive linemen to the NFL, but we actually had 4 players to come back, so that really helped. But I think that our defensive line, we're gonna be good.
You're gonna have to be good with like I said, with the likes of Bama and Georgia and everyone else in the SEC. Who's gonna anchor that defensive line?
Well, I'll tell you what. When you're talking about Georgia and Alabama, we actually got to worry about Georgia. We don't play Alabama, which honestly, I mean, let's just keep it real. We're not ready for Alabama. But we will be playing Georgia this year, and it's going to be a rematch, and hopefully it'll be revenge because, we lost. But you was asking me who's going to be the main person on the defensive line.
Who's going to anchor the defensive line?
Well, we actually have our highest rated recruit on our defensive line in Kentucky football, and his name is Justin Riggs. I think he's going to be our leader. I think we also will have, there's Justin Riggs, and there is DeAndre Square, which I love his name. We have defensive end Octavius Oxendine, J.J. Weaver, outside linebacker. But I think Justin Riggs is going to be our leader.
Okay, with Riggs leading the defensive line, who's going to lead the hit squad, aka the linebacking core?
I really think it's going to be DeAndre Square, because he stepped in last year for Josh Pascal when he got hurt, and he was a big helper on the defensive end when it came to the Citrus Bowl. He had a lot of stops. He had a couple of tackles, and so I think Square is going to be our go-to.
And now the biggest question of all, considering the fact that you do face Georgia this year, who anchors the secondary?
Well, with the secondary, we're kind of hurting a little bit because one of our players on our secondary, Vito Tisdale, he is out with a season-ending knee injury. I kind of think it's going to be probably Josiah Hayes. I kind of like him. I think he's gonna be good. And we also had 2 transfers, Kedron Smith from Ole Miss and Zion Childress from Texas State. I think they're going to be good as well.
Tell me about Childress. What does he and can he bring to the secondary to help out UK?
Well, he's great with the stops. He's an overall great leader. I've noticed on the field that he's all over the place. You know, he's quick. He's got great hands, and I've noticed how he motivates the other players as well. So I think he's going to bring a lot. I think a lot of people are like, he might not be the one. I kind of got a feeling that he will be. He will be that player that will be a standout for us.
Stacy Purcell joining us, talking big blue happenings as we continue to count down toward the 2022 college football season. And they're in the SEC, so you know it's going to be competitive. Next week, we'll break down the Wildcats' schedule. You heard about the players. Now we're going to hear about the teams that they play. And we're going to break down this schedule next week. Stacy Purcell rejoining me after a week where she got her health in order. Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate it. We'll talk next week.
Okay, thank you. And you have a very happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Stacy. Stacy Purcell joining us, talking big blue happenings. We're going to pause for a break, and I got some stuff for you to wrap this up. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Of course, Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez.
And it's caught! Deebo Samuel with the catch. Michael Jordan can sense.
The Fro just got the king.
BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE. Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
And again, the 1-2 pitch on the way to Saunders. Swing and a fly ball deep to right field. Bautista going back to the track to the ball. Get out the rye bread and mustard, Grandma. It is grand salami time. Michael Saunders with a grand slam home run, the first of the year for the Mariners. Here in the top of the 10th inning, would you believe it? And it's now the Mariners 9 and the Blue Jays 5. Saunders' second home run and as many at-bats. Holy smokes. And the Mariners lead 9-5 on the grand slam home run off the bat of Saunders. Dave D. House, that's for you, buddy.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it? It's the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts. Every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.
Hey, Toe Man, they're waiting for you. This is Snowman in the Morning.
Down the stretch we come here on this wacky Wednesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. I want to thank everyone for tuning in with us, and thank you to everyone that gave me early birthday wishes. I can't wait for tomorrow because tomorrow is number 50 for me. And after this past year and being told early in life that I'm not even going to make it this far, yeah, I'm here and I'm still going to be here. Let me do some favorite calls before we get out of here. Favorite calls today brought to you by Cricket Wireless, the official wireless carrier of the SDM Sports Network, SDM Sports Radio, and Snowman in the Morning. I had another bronze sexual confession plan. I'll save that for tomorrow. Let's start with 2019 with Charlie Slows and Dave Jagler bringing home a World Series.
Nationals are a strike away from franchise history and some World Series history as Hudson tries to close it out. It'll be another 3-2 pitch to Michael Brantley. Hudson sets the kick, and here it comes. Swing and a miss! Swing and a miss! Swing and a miss! And a World Series Game 7 winning Curly W is in the books. The celebration is on. The Washington Nationals are the world champions. Remember where you are, so you remember where you are right now at 11:50 Eastern Time. Remember where you are on October 30th, 2019, when the Washington Nationals finished the fight from the depths of a forgettable 19-31 start. They have climbed to the top of baseball's highest peak, giving us all a finish to a season we will remember for the rest of our lives. The Nationals celebrate just behind the pitcher's mound. A world championship Curly W is in the books. The Nationals down 2-0, 6 unanswered runs. They beat the Astros 6-2. They are the world champions of baseball. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable indeed. And thank you to Fox Sports as well as Charlie Slows, WJFK on the call for that finish. And let's do some more favorite calls, shall we? Let's do a couple more. And favorite calls, like I said, brought to you in part by Cricket Wireless. How about Steve Pearce? Y'all remember that?
There they go. 3-2 pitch. Fly ball deep left field. Hooking down the line. Hooking. There she goes. A grand slam. The Blue Jays have done it again. Steve Pearce with a 2-out grand slam to beat Oakland 8-4. Another walk-off home run after Morales did it last night. Home run number 9, his sweetest as a Blue Jay in 2017.
Jerry Howarth on the call for that one. Always a favorite voice of mine to listen to. One of the clips that y'all see often or have seen often especially today, happened in 1983 and forever an answer to a trivia question.
A little more than 10 days, 11 days. He allowed only 5 batters to get on base.
And I didn't even get a chance to cut this one. I'm waiting. I'm looking for the moment. And I found it.
The out at first, Carew at second, Trio at third. 2 out. And he drives it to deep right. Back goes Murphy, away back, and there it is, the first grand slam in All-Star history.
I love hearing the crowd sing, especially at Comiskey Park. Whitey Herzog coming out to take out his pitcher. And as the great Neil Funk said once upon a time, they got to be shaking their head saying, what the hell happened? Because you really don't know what the hell happened. Let's go to 1988, shall we? And all I got to say is Roger Craig.
And they give those guys a little extra weight. Roger Craig still on his feet, still running. What a run by Roger Craig. You'll never see a better one than that. From 46 yards. That's going to be in a lot of highlights for a long time. What an effort by Roger Craig.
John Robinson was just saying yesterday, he thinks right now Roger Craig is the best running back in the league. I can see why. You know, he has that thing of getting those knees high and keeping the shoulders low. And he makes every team look like they're bad tacklers. Watch the way he gets that high knee action, keeps those feet going like 2 pistons. Then at the same time that the knees are going high and keeping going, the shoulder can get low to take on a tackler. I tell you, that is an amazing ability that this guy has.
See, can we get Roger Craig in the Hall of Fame, please? Can we get Roger Craig finally into the Hall of Fame? Ryan McCarthy, speaking of Gary Carter, we need to bring back Les Expos. They should have never gone away. Should have never gone away. Chris Dietz chiming in, just for showing that national win, you need to show the Mike Piazza call I sent to you. Send it to me again. I'll feature it tomorrow. Sig Diggy, when we're talking college football, every game should count in the regular season. Yes, it should. Yes, it should. Cool McCain joining us. Thank you, Cool, for joining us. We got a few minutes left, so let's do a couple more. Let's do a couple more favorite calls, and I'm trying to find a good one here, and I will put this out there. You got a favorite call you want us to feature? Then send the description of that call, or if you have the video clip, send that itself to snowmaninthemorning@gmail.com. That's snowmaninthemorning@gmail.com. I got one for Dietz, and this concerns one of the favorite announcers of the entire crew. You'll recognize his voice.
That category this year with what they have accomplished. They're ranked 6th in the nation. They will play number 12 Penn State today. It is a very big ball game for the future of the Wildcats. Coming up next on The following
and yes, Bishop, give you the courtesy right here.
ABC Sports.
The year was 1995. Yo, Dietz, remember this?
ABC Sports College Football presents the Big Ten matchup between the Penn State Nittany Lions and the Northwestern Wildcats. And here they are, the Northwestern Northwestern Wildcats, the story of the year so far in college football. A collection of Walter Middies who have unsettled the norm in the Big Ten Conference. Their seats in Dietz Stadium with rumps in them for the first time in a dozen years. They're having so much fun, there was a sign last week that read, "Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier." As you look at the Big Ten Conference standings, that's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation. But Northwestern is sitting right up there on top. And they're 7-1 for the first time since 1936. Ohio State, of course, is right there with them. And those two do not play each other this year.
Yeah, I had to get that one in. For Dietz, for me, for Cole, for Ryan. Yeah, I knew you'd recognize it. The great Keith Jackson. I think that's how I'm going to do Dietz's intro for our college football coverage. Let's get one more. Let's get one more before we get on out of here. And this is going to take a moment for me to put together because you know what? No, it's not. No, it's not. Let me find it. Because I know I have it. I know I have it somewhere. Speaking of great announcers, I have it. Okay, one more, then we'll get out of here. Let's go back to 1980.
Buck back third down on the 8. In trouble. Got a block behind him. Going to throw and a run. Complete to the 25. To the 30. Lindsey's got 35-40. Lindsey's got 45-50. 45-40. Run Lindsey. 25-20. 50. 10. 5. Lindsey stop. Lindsey stop. Lindsey stop. We just got one. Incredible play. Lindsey Scott caught the ball around the 40. There were a couple of players that had an angle. He knew that he had to run as fast as he possibly could. Well, I can't believe it. 92 yards, and Lindsey really got in the foot race. I broke my chair. I came right through a chair, a metal steel chair with about a 5-inch cushion. I broke it. The booth came apart. The stadium fell down. Now they do have to renovate this thing. They'll have to rebuild it now. This is incredible. We might call time. We've only got a 5-point lead, and by the way, there's a minute and 3, and we got to give the ball back to those guys. I didn't mean to beg Lindsey to run, but I had to. 26-21. You know, this game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight and up at St. Simon's and Jekyll Island and all those places where all those dog people have got these condominiums for 4 days? Man, is there going to be some property destroyed tonight. The late great Larry Munson on that call. Of course, Run Lindsey was the title of it. Everybody wants to say it was Run Lindsey Run. It was just Run Lindsey. But either way, it worked. And it's one of the greatest calls in college football history. I'm going to have a couple more as we go through here. All right, Ryan McCarthy suggested one more, and this is a double play here. Not only will you hear the voice of Keith Jackson, but you'll also hear the voice of my good friend Craig Way, the longtime voice of the Texas Longhorns. Let's go to January 2006, and let's go to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
4th and 5, the national championship on the line right here. He's going for the corner. He's got it. Young scores.
All the dreams, all the hopes for the national championship come down to this play. Young from the shotgun, back to throw. Vince looks, under pressure. He'll tuck it in and run. Vince to the 5. Young, touchdown Texas. Touchdown Vince Young. He's done it again. Vince Young has given the Longhorns the lead with 19 seconds to play in the game.
That's my buddy Craig Way, the longtime radio voice of the Texas Longhorns. And we're going to get out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, then they are not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are. We hope y'all are too. I'm out of here, and I'm celebrating a birthday tomorrow. And thank you to all that gave me the early birthday wishes. I would not be here without you guys' inspiration. I wouldn't be here without my daughter, Sonia. And I wouldn't be here without my wife, Jody, and the remainder of my family. Number 50 is tomorrow, and we're going to celebrate. We're out of here. See you tomorrow.
Thank you for tuning in to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts.